Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you guys very much for clicking on this video. Today we have a pretty interesting video. I recently discovered something in my golf swing which literally will help you transform your game no matter what your problem is. For me, I could not hit a draw. For the last, year or so, it's been very difficult for me to hit a draw. If it was a draw, it would kind of be like a low little pulled draw, but I could not hit a draw where it started right of the target. But this really changed my game, and it's a very simple concept that I want to share with all of you guys, and it will help you get the ball flight goals, better ball striking and better golf, no matter what your shot shape is, no matter what your ability, no matter what your level is. So let's dive straight in and start taking a look. So this is me actually just a few weeks ago, about a month ago, and the end of May. And here I am set up with, I believe it's either a 7 or a 6 iron. And let's just play this swing back and show you guys. And if you think you might be able to guess what I'm about to talk about, feel free to comment down below. Now this was a pretty reasonable shot, probably just started left of my target, just faded back, but not a bad shot overall. Now, not being able to hit a draw isn't necessarily a bad thing for a lot of people. Being able to play a one-dimensional fade, would help a lot of people's games, but I personally wasn't happy with it. I like to be able to hit a draw or hit the ball both ways, or just hit it pretty straight as well, like most golfers do. Now let's dive in and take a look why I could not hit a draw. So let's play this swing. Well, first of all, setup. The setup's fine here, really. I'm working on a few things and it's changed slightly since, but if we just play this back, and I'm going to pause it at the top. I mean, it's actually a really nice backswing on top of the backswing position. I'm actually really happy with that. Really happy with the way that's looking here. And now from the top, this is where I need you guys to start paying attention. So here, we're going to be talking about swing plane. Now that's not club path, and it's not kind of club face or anything like that. It's the overall plane of your golf swing and the angle of which it kind of comes into the ball. And let me just briefly explain this. So let's just have a look. Let's just slowly play this down. Now I want you to pay attention. Watch where my hands, see my hands are just away from my body here. Watch where they enter, kind of where they cross over with my body. It's going to be around my right shoulder, pretty much straight into my right shoulder. If we play this down and pause it here, let's just put a little line in here, and we'll leave that line there throughout the rest of the swing. So let's put that line in there where they've entered into my right shoulder. Now, if we play this down into the ball and through slowly, let's watch where they exit through my body, where you can first see the hands exit on my body. Okay, it's about here. Now let's put another little line in here. Now notice how the second line, where we can see the club and see my hands, is lower than the first line, is lower than where they entered my body. Now this basically means that if this is my target angle looking directly at the camera, like I'm trying to hit the ball towards the camera, and then this would be like a neutral swing plane on that line, basically. Or even if we use a piece of paper here, might be easier to explain it. This is my target line, and this is my swing plane, the piece of paper. That would be neutral because the swing plane is in alignment with the target line. Now basically what was happening for me is my alignment was getting slightly crossed, so because my club and hands were coming in higher than they were exiting, that means the plane, which this would be neutral, was slightly tilted to the left. And if we play this back, let's play this swing back from the top. Watch as this comes down. You're going to see it come down fairly neutral into the ball in a pretty good plane, but watch where it exits. This is really important. It exits, my hands and the club move very quickly round to the left and kind of almost underneath me, and the club exits very low, and then the hands kind of follow a little bit lower as well. Now basically this means that it would be from this position, it would almost be impossible for me to hit a push draw where the ball starts to the right of my target and draws back. This is because the plane is tilted to the left, meaning that if I'm going to hit, my shot shape will be either kind of, it could be straight, I mean there's a few options. It could be a little fade, it could be a big fade depending on club face control, it could be a pull left, it could be a pull draw, but I'm not going to be able to hit a push draw from this position. Now, how did I correct this, or how am I working to correct this in my golf swing? Well, let's just take a look at one more iron swing, and you'll also be able to see this really easily here. This was an 8 iron, and this was actually a really good shot, and honestly, this is me trying to, before I realized this was me trying to draw the ball as much as I could, and it was pretty much dead straight. It was a good shot. So from the top here, let's look at where the hands come down again through my right shoulder, and then we're going to see them exit a lot lower left underneath me here. If we pause that there, again, that's a lot lower than they came in, kind of down and into the ball. So basically they've worked down and then across the ball. So they're working down on the swing plane, but then they're moving to the left across the ball. Meaning that it's almost impossible for me to hit a draw unless I was kind of aiming miles right at the target and then closing the club face down. So how did or am I correcting this? Well, let's take a look at, this was my first range session where I was kind of trying to work on this specifically, where I'm trying to get the feeling of the hands coming in lower and then exiting higher above my left shoulder. And if you've watched the kind of a lot of the swing review videos I do of some of the best players in the world, almost all of them finish with the hands and arms a little bit higher than they come into their body, and that's kind of regardless if they're hitting a fade or a draw, because if you're coming in lower and exiting higher, you can still hit a fade from that position if you just aim slightly left of the target and kept the club face open. It's kind of a lot easier to hit a fade that way. So let's play this swing back, and this is really me trying to exaggerate. If we pause it at the top here, I'm pretty happy with that position. It's not a bad position at all. There's a few other things I'm working on, which I'll probably do some more videos for you guys soon. And then as we play this down, note where my hands come into the body. It's kind of on the tree line here. It's on the line of the tree, so kind of easy to know there. And I'm really trying to exaggerate hitting a draw here and getting the hands higher. And it's better, but it's obviously, if we pause it here, where the hands exit, they actually still exit a little bit lower. This ball was pretty much dead straight. So yeah, it's a tough thing to change, but I have worked on it a few times since, and I want to show that to you guys now. Well, let's just have a look one more time from this range session where I was working on this, the first range session. Then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like now. And trust me, it's a huge difference. So this is with driver from that range session. Now, bear in mind with driver, it will be easier to do this because your spine angle is going to be more tilted back and you're going to be hitting up on the ball. So your hands will naturally come into it possibly a bit lower and exit a bit higher. And if they aren't with driver, then that's something you should seriously consider. Now, I will also tell you guys what kind of swing feels and thoughts I do to kind of create this and make sure, and also some things to watch out for when you're doing this to make sure you're doing it correctly. So let's just play this back. We've got my driver swing here. Let's play this back again. Pretty happy with this swing. It was not bad at all. If we pause it at the top, yeah, not bad position there. There's a few things I'm kind of maybe not happy with. But if we play this down, just note the position that my hands come into my body. They cross over with my body here. And then as we swing through, down and through, I'm coming down pretty good plane. I do early extend a little bit in this one, but it was a good shot. It was a nice, good draw. The club exits quite low, but my hands actually do exit a bit higher here. Notice they're kind of, they're a good few inches higher probably. Now maybe that's not as much as I'd like it to be, and maybe the club still exits a little bit left, and I will talk a little bit more about that in a second, guys. So let's now dive into my last range session when I played just a few days ago. Now this is me warming up on the range. I want to show you this video first because this is me actually doing exaggerated practice swings and rehearsals, guys. So here I've just got I think I've got a 6 iron or 7 iron here, something like that. I think this is a 7 iron. And bear in mind, these are exaggerated practice swings. So I've got a few different feels happening here, but if we play this back, you can see how as I drop the club down, I'm kind of really trying to come in low to the ball, and then if you watch as I come through the ball, I'm trying to get the feeling the club and the grip move out to the right as I'm releasing the club a bit more out to the right and in front of me, and then as I swing through, I want that club and grip coming up above my left shoulder. That's really my exaggerated feel here. And if we have a look at my swing here, these were exaggerated. This is not kind of my actual swing, but these were exaggerated. And I was pretty happy with the exaggerations. If we pause it at the top, there's a few things I'm not happy with about that position, but I'll get into that maybe in a different video. But if we play this down, watch where my hands and arms come in just underneath my right shoulder, and they come in really low and inside into the ball. Coming from the inside, they move a little bit, not out to the right, but straighter. They don't move quite so much to the left. And then if we look, the club comes more up through my left shoulder, and the hands finish more up in front of me and above my left shoulder. And this shot was kind of just a nice, just high draw basically. And again, this is an exaggeration. Let's have a look at one more. This is me again trying to exaggerate in my practice swings. This feeling, I'm also trying to get the feeling like when I drop the hands and arms, I'm internally rotating my left shoulder and left forearm to basically square up the club face a bit earlier to so that I don't kind of leave the club face open out to the right. And again, we can see here I'm trying to exaggerate the feel of moving it out to the right. Let's play this swing back and take a look, see how this looks. There's a few things I'm not happy with, but I was happy with the exaggerations of what I was working on here. If we play this slowly from top, comes down underneath my left shoulder, really inside, and again the club moves kind of through impact straight or even slightly out to the right, and a bit more up in front of me with the hands and arms. Just looks much better after I've hit the ball. And again, it was a nice high draw, really good exaggeration. Now let's take a look at that same day, but out on the actual golf course. So this is actually what my swing looked like on that day after I'd done a bit of work on it. And, you know, when I was actually out on the golf course trying to basically put this into play. So obviously the exaggerations won't be so much. Let's play through a few practice swing rehearsals here. And from the top, I'm trying to get the feeling that hands and arms drop quite low, and then they come quite inside, and then out to the right, release it, and kind of up and in front of me, in front of my left shoulder. Let's have a look if I did that. And this was actually a really nice drive, so it's a good one to look at. It's pretty straight, maybe baby draw. And if we play this back, there's a few other things I'm not 100% happy with this swing, but if we specifically play this from the top, the hands and arms drop fairly nicely, come in low and on the inside, and I extend them through the ball a lot better, more down the line, and they come a little bit higher up in front of me above my left shoulder. And this again was a really nice shot. Now this, the next shot I'm going to show you is actually the swing directly after this. This was a par 5, and this was like a 6-iron, and I hit it to like 5 feet. It was like definitely my best shot of the day, 100%. So it's a great swing to have a look at for that reason. Now if we play this back, again, a few things I'm not happy with and takeaway and stuff like that, but overall if we pause this at the top, pretty good position there. And then if we slowly play this down, note where my hands and arms come in just underneath my left shoulder. So it's not a huge difference, but it is making a big difference in terms of the result. And then they come through the ball, little bit more down the line. They still exit slightly left here. It's kind of maybe a 2-yard fade, this shot. And then they exit pretty much the same plane they came in on. So even though it's not an exaggeration here, the plane is pretty neutral here. And this swing was really nice. I was through impact and after impact, I was really happy with how that looked. Let's just play this back a few more times for you guys. You can just watch this. And you know, you can see on the driving range where I'm making those exaggerations, and it is exaggerated, and I'm kind of almost getting into more of the positions I want to be. And here on the golf course, but I need to exaggerate it on the driving range in order for it to be neutral on the golf course. Overall, this shot was pretty straight, maybe just, as I said, like a 2-yard fade. And overall, I played really well tee to green that day. And overall, my ball strike and my pattern, my shot shape was pretty neutral. There wasn't much movement in the air. So even though I'm trying to exaggerate, almost like a hook type feeling, my shot shape and pattern, because it's, I'm still working on it, I've got to exaggerate it just to get it back to neutral. And that's a really good lesson for any of you guys working on your golf swings, whatever you're working on. When you are on the driving range, you should not really be caring where the ball is going when you're working on your golf swing. It should be like, if I hit a slice, I'm trying to hit a hook. If I hit a hook, I'm trying to hit a slice. It should be an over-exaggeration so that when you take it out onto the golf course, you're going to be a bit more target-orientated, not so focused on the swing, be a bit more target-orientated, and it will neutralize things. So if you are trying to hit a hook on the driving range and you can do that, you're probably, when you get onto the golf course, it might turn into a straight shot or a baby draw or something like that. It's not going to be as exaggerated, but those exaggerations need to be there in order to move things in the correct direction for you. I hope this makes sense for a lot of you guys. When you next video your golf swing, bear in mind what I've been talking about. Take a look from the top of the backswing. Where do your hands and arms and the club cross into your body, cross over with your body? And then after impact, take a look at where they exit and have a look at where your kind of hands, your hand path and club path are going through impact and through the ball. Are they coming too much from the inside and releasing out to the right? Are they like myself, were they kind of coming in fairly neutral but exiting very left and underneath it? Let me know, guys. I hope that makes a lot of sense for you. I really do believe it should be able to help you guys neutralize some maybe mistakes in your game. If you really have a big slice, you're coming over the top, maybe that will help you, get the similar feeling like I was trying to, of coming in a lot lower and exiting a lot higher. So yeah, let me know, guys. I hope that makes sense. Comment your thoughts down below. If you have any questions, I'll reply to all your comments down below. Give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Loads more great content coming out for you guys very, very soon. I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, grip it and rip it.